Alrighty guys, welcome back. It's your host, Tiny Jester. We're going to be playing Twilight Struggle. This is the Red Sea conflict in the Horn of Africa. This is a boxed game of Twilight Struggle. It doesn't have anything to do with the original Twilight Struggle. It's its own game system. Danny, hopefully I'm clarifying something for you, because it looks like somebody was under the impression that this was an expansion for the Twilight Struggle game, which I think is a lot of reason why people didn't know about this game. This is Twilight Struggle Light. The cool thing about this, well, there's a lot of cool things about it, but it comes with its own solo mode. So you can play this solo, and it comes with both the different factions. And, yeah, so you can play, don't you fall over there. Don't you fall over there. So you can play it either as the US or as USSR. This is a very small, condensed, a lot of people are calling this Twilight Struggle Light because it's very small. The board is only this big. It's only 2 turns. You only go through 2 turns, so it's pretty quick playing game. But you still have the same great mechanics as the original. So, yeah, you should have got this on the GMT sale for sure. So let's get it to the table and take a look at it. So there it is in all of its glory. I'll slide it down so it's a little bit more in focus here. This is it. If you were playing face-to-face, one person would be sitting over here, one person would be sitting over here. All of your information would be listed right here. Obviously, for your other player, there'd be information there. We don't need this, so we're going to be playing this way. Obviously, you can see there's going to be 7 action rounds. We're going to be playing 2 turns. And that's it. So we have a mid-war deck, which you start with. Then there is a late war deck, which you add in after the first turn. And that's it. What is going on? How are you doing, Eric? Good to see you, my friend. I should have bought this game at the GMT sale. Yeah. If you enjoyed Twilight Struggle, yeah, you definitely should have got this one. So we're shuffling up the mid-war deck. I am not an expert. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not an expert at this game. So don't take anything that I do as expert advice. And let's go ahead and slide this over this way a little bit. There we go. So don't take anything that I say as like, oh, this is how to play this game, because I am certainly not the expert at this game. But we're going to try and do our best and play it out for you guys. Here you can see there's all kinds of different cards. There is either going to be cards for the US, there's going to be mixed cards, or there's going to be cards that are for the USSR. We're going to be playing as the U.S. America. All right. You can see there's just a few things. There's a space track, just like the regular one. Victory point track, which is basically either going to go either U.S. or Russia will be getting victory points. DEFCON starts at 4. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's shuffle this up. You can see I'm trying to make sure this is well shuffled so that I get a halfway decent hand, because if I don't get a halfway decent hand, we're gonna die. We're gonna lose. All right. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. That's not even true. We get 10 cards. Oh, look at that. I messed up already. There's a card that I had set out here, and then for some reason, I decided to shuffle it in. Where did that card go? Romanian Automati. So, this card, as you can see, begins the game with the U.S. player. So do not shuffle this up, or you'll have to do what I do and restart over again. I apologize for that. My bad. I told you I was not an expert. I told you I was not an expert. I apologize for that, though. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try not to make any more boo-boo-boos like that. All right. Shuffling up. Here we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we get 9 cards. Plus, again, we get this Romanian. I don't know why I call it Roman. It's Romanian. Romanian Automony, which begins with the U.S. player. If we have this at the end of the game, it's worth a victory point. If we give it to the AI, then they'll get a victory point. So we're going to be laying our cards out here to see what we have. Okay, not too bad, actually. So what I do is I lay out the enemy's cards here. Then I put out all the ones that are mid. And then I will put out all of ours. So we got only two of their cards. We have 4 that are going to be either or, and then we have 3 of our cards, and then of course we have the Romanian Automati. All right. So you can see we only play 7 rounds, so we're going to have an extra card in our hand at the end of the game. We can get rid of one of these cards for the space race. Ooh. That's nasty. He can basically steal our Romanian Automati card by playing this. That is interesting. The USSR adds 2 to its military operations, and the U.S. subtracts 2. If the U.S. holds the Romanian Automati card, the U.S. claims it. So he can basically steal this. So it's a good thing we got this card. He could have stole that from us. So we can use this for the space race. What's this do to us? Remove all U.S. influence from one country in Africa. So if he did that, he could remove our influence in Ethiopia. All right. So there is only 2 different countries. There is Africa in the yellow, and there is the Middle East in the blue, and there's one country here, Egypt, that is both in the Middle East and in Africa. During the first turn, the mid-war, you're only going to get a scoring for Africa. So you can see that there is, if we look at the late war, which are not in our deck, you will see the scoring card for the Middle East. So the Middle East scoring doesn't happen until the second turn. What is going on, Braun? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. You okay? You hanging in there? Probably pain-free after weeks. Ooh. Root canal. Oh, wow. That's sorry, man. Oh. Oh, that would hurt. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, that stinks. All right, so we only have to worry about Africa scoring in the first turn, then the Middle East scoring in the second turn. We don't know for sure if the scoring card for Africa will come out. I don't have it, and we're going to be drawing cards out for him. First thing we need to do is come up with a card for our headline phase. Alright. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to do this one. So this event will allow us to move up on the space race track, one space automatically without having to roll for it. So basically, again, we're just playing 2 turns. There is an automatic victory condition if you have Ethiopia and Somalia, these 2 countries right there. If you control both of those countries, and Africa is and you control more African countries, you control these, and you have control in more countries in Africa, you can automatically win the game if the Africa scoring happens. So, all right. So I apologize. I'm just looking at all these cards. I haven't really seen them. So I think we're gonna go ahead and play this card out. So what we do with the AI is they have a chart here to let you know whether or not they're going to play it as a headline or not. And so we will be referencing that. I'm just going to have that off screen there. So we flip over a card for him, and we look at it. If it's a U.S. only card, he just discards it. He doesn't do anything with it. He won't play it as a headline, obviously. What is that? Israeli doctrine. Yep, I don't think he won't even consider those. Another U.S. Wow, he's getting rid of all of our good cards. What the hell? Next up. All right, so this is the Dreg. So the Dreg, we look at USSR playable events. The Dreg, will he play this card? Yes, he will play this card as a headline. So he will play this card as a headline. So he will play this card. We will then flip over both of our cards to see what we have. Alright, he has the Drag. I have Apollo Svoyu test projects. And then we do these in order. During the headline phase, it is going to be... right, it is going to be the headline phase... Just looking to see if there's any change to this here. So select your headline card, reveal cards from the draw deck until a playable card is associated with the solo opponent's superpower or both superpowers is revealed. Use this as the solo opponent's headline card. Shuffle the other revealed cards back into the... Oh, these go back into the draw deck. Good. So these will get shuffled back in. I'm glad I read this now because, wow, we would have lost 2 really good cards. So let's shuffle this up. Even if the play of your headline card would render the solo opponent's headline card not playable, resolve as much of the event as possible. If the card would now have no effect, discard it. Do not draw a replacement card. Perform your action rounds normally, but perform the solo opponent's action rounds. Okay. I think you do the U.S. players first. But again, I'm going to just double check that rule because, again, not an expert. So we want the headline phase. It should be pretty easy to figure this out. All right. Headline phase. card with the higher operations value occurs first. If the event of a tie, the U.S. player is first. Yes. So because we're 2 and 2, we do this simultaneously. So we do the U.S. players first. So for us, we advance 1 space on the track, which is cool for us because now we have a special ability to remove 1 influence from 1 country after the headline phase. So that is going to be good for us. And this card doesn't go away because it doesn't have an asterisk on it. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure I'm kind of playing it right. Yeah, I think it just goes in the discard pile. So we're going to have a discard pile. Where should we? We'll have the discard pile up there. That's fine. Now we do his event. His event, I haven't even looked at it yet, is the Dreg. Now this does have an asterisk. So now I need to find out. Let's see. Says here some cards have an asterisk following their event tile. When these cards are played as events, they are removed permanently from the game. So is this considered playing it as an event when you play it for the headline? Is the great question. Headline phase, each player secretly selects a card from their hand. Once both players have made their choice, they reveal their cards simultaneously. This is called the headline. These are called headline cards, and their events occur in this phase. If the event title has an asterisk, remove it from the game. Right there it is. All right, good. I like rule books that actually explain things, so that's a good plus. So they're going to get removed from the game here in a minute. But the Dreg, add 2 USSR influence in Ethiopia. That's here. Oof. So 2 influence is going to he's going to take ownership of that because he has 2. I only have 1 now. If Ethiopia is USSR controlled, it is because you only need 1 to control it. He has 1 more than us. Its stability number becomes 3 permanently. Oh boy. So that's what that little 3 is right there on the side. I know it's hard for you guys to see it. I'm going to use this little red die as a reminder for everyone that stability is now 3 permanently. Which is interesting. Add 2 USSR influence in Ethiopia, which we did. If Ethiopia is USSR controlled, its stability number becomes 3 permanently, which means he loses stability or he loses control of it. Because now you have to have at least 3 more than your opponent. All right, remove from play if played in events. So this is discard here. So out of play, we're going to put up there out of our way. All right. Okay, good. So far so good. We didn't die. That's a good bonus. All right. So now what we have to do is figure out what we want to do here. At the end of the headline phase, remove 1 influence from 1 country after the headline phase. I'm wondering if I get rid of Somalia, get him out of there. I could remove 1 here. So if you're not familiar with Twilight Struggle, when you have the dark color on the background, that means you have control of that country. If you're on the white side, you don't have control of the country. Each country has a stability number that you must make for you to have control of that country. So if he had a 2 here, he would have control of this country, because to have control of Somalia, you have to have 2 more than your opponent. Your opponent has 0, so 2 is 2 more than 0, so he would have control of this country. So you're vying for control of countries at this point. And because of this, I'm going to remove 1 from Somalia. Get out of there, Somalia. All right. So we go to his. He gets to go first. The USSR gets to go first. So what we do is we flip over a card. And we look at it. And we see that is his event. It's Nazarism. So we look at that on the list, Nazarism, which is number 23. Nazarism. Will he play it as an event? Yes, he will, but he's only going to play it as a headline or an action round number 1, and if the DEFCON at 3 or higher. Well, all those apply, so he will play this as an event. Nazarism. The USSR is going to coup attempts receive +1 to their die roll for the remaining of the turn. Oh, jeez. So all of his coup attempts are going to get a +1. So he'll be able to coup and be a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that out here as a reminder. And that's his turn. So we go to our first action. Our first action. I'm very surprised that that card adds influence and then gives him control and then changes his stability number. So I'm going to have to look at the rules on this card, because once you gain control of a country, let's see, is there a glossary for control? Like once you have control, once the stability changes, it's going to revert control, isn't it? I'm just making sure I mean, as far as I know, he would lose control of that, which seems like a really weird. The reason I'm checking this is because it seems really weird that he would add influence, get control of it, increase the number of the stability just so he loses control of it. I mean, that seems a little weird. All right, controlling countries. Here it is. Each country on the map is considered either controlled by one of the players or uncontrolled. A country is considered controlled if a player has influence in the country is greater than or equal to the stability number and the player's influence in the country exceeds their opponent's influence in that country by at least the stability number. Yeah, I mean that outlines everything that we just talked about. It went from 1 to 3, so now he needs to have 3 more. So I guess he loses control of it. That's fine. I mean, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't ripping the AI off. All right, so it is our turn. All right. So we're going to play this as a... We're going to play this for the ops. We're going to play this for 2 ops. 2 operation points. And those 2 operation points are going to go right here. And because Kenya has a stability of 2, if you have 2 influence or 2 more than your opponent, then you have control of it. We will take control of Kenya. So that is, we played this for the operation. We didn't do this because if your opponent controls Egypt and Ethiopia, then you can remove influence from whichever country has more. So obviously we don't need to play that. So we have a discard pile. Where? Oh boy, oh boy. Discard, we're going to put the discard. Yeah, we'll put it on this side there. Discard. All right. The reason I have to do that is because the AI is going to get a thing of cards. All right. So that's ours. We go to round 2. And he ignores everyone. So the advantage of it is he can play our cards and ignore everything. All he does is get the 3 operation points. All right. So he discards that card. And here's this little flowchart. Then its flowchart says, number 1, does the USSR, does it have control, does not control a flashpoint country? So the flashpoint countries are Ethiopia and Somalia. So those are the 2 flashpoint countries in Africa. I think those are the only 2 in the map, these 2. So the question is, does the USSR, do they not control a country there? And the reason this is important for the AI is because of the automatic victory. If I had control of Ethiopia and Somalia, and I played the Africa card, I could instantly win. So the AI doesn't want me to do that. So because he doesn't have control of those, we're going to do something on this track here. And the track is going to be... And that's important because the Africa scoring is not in the discard pile. So once Africa is scored, he doesn't care about that anymore. But until it's scored, he does care about that because we could instantly win the game. So, all right. So what he wants to do is check the DEFCON level here. So can he remove U.S. control of flashpoint country or change control of sufficient countries to prevent an automatic victory? So he wants to try and do this. So he's going to play the leftmost event card which he's going to get for 3 operation points there. That's what he's doing. So play the leftmost event in the card line, which normally you would put all of his cards in a line and then activate them as you go. But we know he's not going to play this as the event because it's an R event. So he automatically just gets the 3 operation points. Now the question is, where does he try to go? So we go to, where does he put the influence? Actually, okay, so he can't play the event because he doesn't have any events. So then he's going to try to coup. Is there somewhere he can coup that if he rolled a 4 on the dice, he would get 4 plus the 3 is 7, minus the stability of 3, double 3 is... No, he can't actually coup that place because the stability's gone up to 3 now. If he tries to coup and he rolls a 4, 4 plus the 3 is 7. But now you got to double this, which is 3 doubled is 6. So the difference is 1. So he would only gain, he would only remove 1 of my influence there, which is still not enough to take control of this one. And he can't coup this one because I don't have anybody there to coup. I guess it's not true. It says coup if a 4 result would remove all U.S. influence from a flashpoint country. And actually, if he does roll a 4, he would remove this. He would remove this. So he actually will try to do a coup in a flashpoint country. Okay. So we're going to do that. I believe that's what he would do. So he's going to try and coup. He's going to use this little card here, the victorious leader. And he's going to try to coup Ethiopia. He needs at least a 4. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. Oh, he rolled a 5, which is a bummer. So that's going to remove me. And that's going to give him 1 extra influence. And it's going to give him 3. And again, 3 more than what I have is going to make it so that he owns control of that country. So he owns Ethiopia now. That's kind of a bummer. Okay, well, it's our turn now, though. Oh, and so when you do a coup in a flashpoint country, we have to see if the DEFCON status goes down. And the DEFCON status will go down. We flip over a card if it's a 1 value or a 2 value, or if it's a scoring card, then this will go down. And it is a 2. So it is going to go down. He also is going to get 2 military operation points. Now, that's kind of a bummer. It's going to be super hard to get him out of there now because this is so expensive. All right. All right, I'm going to play this card. We waited to the perfect moment for this. I think. We'll see. I'm going to play the... Ooh, how do we pronounce this one? It's Eritrean Popular Liberation Front. If Ethiopia is USSR controlled, it is USSR controlled actually. Gain 1 victory point. So we're winning the game. Look at that. And add 1 influence in Ethiopia, which we get to do that for free, which means he no longer has control of this. And 1 adjacent country. I'm going to add influence to Sudan, which means we will take over Sudan as well. We only need 1. We're 1 more than our opponent. Boom. And it doesn't have an asterisk, which means we don't need to get rid of it. So this is the discard pile. Oh, this is discard pile, right? That was all discard pile? Yeah, that was all discard. We can put the discard pile here. This is the out of game. Right, okay. All right, we move on. Turn 3 for the Soviets. He flips over. This is a mixed one. Separatism, number 42. Will he play it as an event? Yes, he will. Playable if U.S. has influence in a non-battleground country that is not USSR controlled. Playable if U.S. has influence in a non-battleground. So battlegrounds are the ones with purple on them. Purple background. So there's this one. There's this one. I think that's the and Egypt. Those 3 are. And so do I have influence in a non-battleground country that the USSR does not have control of? Yes. So he will play this as an event. Separatists. Add sufficient influence in 1 non-battleground country to equal your opponent's influence. So he will put 1 in there, and I will lose control of Sudan now. And we go to my turn. And once again, this doesn't have an asterisk, so this stays in the game. Now it's our turn. All right. I would like to do a coup attempt somewhere, I'm thinking. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. The Strongman of Sudan. And the U.S. adds 1 influence more in Sudan than the USSR has in Ethiopia. He has 3 in Ethiopia, so I add 4 to Sudan, and that's going to take me up to a 5 in Sudan. And I'm going to get control of that again. So the U.S. adds 1 influence more in Sudan than the USSR has in Ethiopia. So he has 3. 1 extra would be 4. I already had 1, so I'm going to take that all the way up to 5. And I'm going to get control of that again. I would like to do a... Okay, and it does have an asterisk, so it's out of the game. All right, we move on to the Soviets' turn 4. And it's our event. They don't do our events, so we look at his chart to find out what he wants to do. Does the USSR do they not have control of a flashpoint country? Yes, they don't have control of a flashpoint country yet. So again, they would try to play an event. They have no events to play. So they would try a coup if a 4, let's see if a 4 would do anything. If he rolls a 4. This time he only gets a 2 card though. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. 3 doubled is 6, so 6 minus 6 is 0, so you would not remove anything. So a coup attempt in rolling a 4 does nothing this time. Eritrean. And Eritrean? Okay. Eritrean. So he would not do a coup because it's not going to do anything. Realignment. Is there a U.S. controlled flashpoint country with at least +2 net realignment modifier? No, he does not have that. So he's going to try and place influence. So where is he going to try and place influence? He's going to try and do it in or adjacent to Africa. Spaces without control. Flashpoint. Africa scoring is not in the discard, which it is not. So it's going to be a flashpoint. So he's going to add influence here. So he can try and take control of it, which makes sense. He's got 2 influence, so he's going to take that to 5. He's going to take from 3 to 5. And 5 is 3 more than what we have, so he's going to take control of it now. So I think he would do that. Makes sense to me. I was asking how to pronounce a car dealership. A car. I'm sorry, a car earlier. My bad. All right. Thank you. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Eritrean. Oh, Eritrean. There you go. Eritrean Popular Liberation Front. Thank you, Phoenix. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, there's a little bit of delay. So I know I post comments for you sometimes, and it's like, no, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about what you were talking about like 30 seconds ago. So, all right. So it goes to our turn for now. Lovely. Let's see. Egypt, Sudan, so the question is, do we want to go after Somalia? Because he owns Ethiopia. If he owns Ethiopia and Somalia, he could win the game. And if I try and do a coup attempt, 2, 6, yeah, I'm going to need higher than a, That Ethiopia that turned it to 3 is super hard now, super hard. But I think we are going to try and take over Somalia here. Although, I can get 3 victory points if I can get Egypt, Sudan, South Yemen, Omar, or Saudi Arabia. I get 3 victory points for control of at least 3 of those. So if I have control of 3 of those, oh, and because the DEFCON status went from 4 down to 3, you can no longer do coup attempts in the Middle East because people wouldn't like that so much. So there's only going to be 1 more that I can do. So, he doesn't really have, no, I think I want to keep this one. We haven't gotten any military operations yet, so we definitely need to try a coup. Unfortunately, we're going to have to try a coup. And we're gonna coup South Yemen. And I'm gonna use this card for the op value for the 2 points in the coup attempt. So come on, let's roll really high, really, really, really high. That would be awesome. All right. So 3 plus 2 is 5. You take the stability number and double it. 1 doubled is 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So I can adjust influence by 3. So the first one removes him. And then I add 2, and I'm going to take over that location. Now, this is not a battleground, and it's a non-flashpoint. So I think when you do a coup in those, you don't adjust the DEFCON, but let me just double check. That's not going to help me at all. Where did my... Oh, here's my rule booklet. So coup attempts, battleground. When a coup attempt is made against a flashpoint country, yeah, we know about that. Oh, and because I made 3, I get to move this up 3 spaces on the track. All right, I think I'm done. I think I'm all right. I don't think he adjusted. So we go to his turn 5. We flip over a card. It's his thing again. So we put it in line, and now we see this is a RS-29. Will he play the event? Yes, he will. Playable if at least 2 countries with net positive realignment modifiers for the USSR. No, he does not have anything to help him. He's only got 1 country right now, which is Ethiopia. We're doing pretty good managing the board. And so he's not going to do this event. We'll make 1 realignment roll against each country in Africa. So the way realignment rolls happen is you roll dice opposing, and you're going to try to take over or adjust the difficultiness of your opponent. So like here, actually, can he do it there? No, I think this. The USSR may make 1 realignment roll against each country in Africa. Ooh, can he do this? Number 29. Playable if at least 2 countries with net positive realignment modifier for the USSR. So the modifiers on realignments are you get +1 for each adjacent controlled country. So if he did 1 here, he would get a +1 from this. And if they have more influence in the target country, you get another +1. He doesn't. So he would not attempt this because he needs to get 2 countries with a positive. So he's not going to do that. So he is simply going to go down his little chart again now. But this time, does he have control of a flashpoint country? He does now have control of a flashpoint country, so he won't do this. U.S. has a choke point influence. So choke points are... Choke points, does it give a definition of it? But choke points basically are anything, any country that has influence into a battleground country. So like Yemen is connected to Saudi Arabia. So this is a choke point country to get into Saudi Arabia. Egypt. To get into Egypt, you need to go through Sudan. I have control of Sudan. So he's going to try and get rid of some influence. Remove all influence from a choke point country, or so. Can he play this? No. Can he coup? If you rolled a 2, would remove all U.S. influence from a choke point country. So, 2 plus 3 for the card is actually 5. 1 doubled is 2, so the difference is 3. And he removes this. No, that wouldn't do anything there at all. He cannot do it in the Middle East because of this, so he cannot do a coup. Realignment. Is there a choke point country with at least a +1 net modifier? Yes, he gets a +1 because of Ethiopia. He gets a +1 because of Ethiopia. So I think he's going to try and do a realignment roll in Sudan. Because again, the realignment modifiers, he's going to get a +1 because this is adjacent and he has control, and then he would have +1. Oh, each player modifies if they have more. Oh, so I have more influence here, which is a +1 for me. He gets a +1, so that's actually a 0. So he won't do a realignment. So he is not going to do anything there. So we move on. DEFCON is 3, and there is isolated U.S. influence in battleground or flashpoint country. Yes. He's going to try a yeah, I bet you. He's going to try and coup me in Kenya. A 2 would result in all U.S. influence. Let's see. 3. If you rolled a 2, that'd be 5. Ooh, no. Actually, that's not. If you rolled a 2, 2 plus a 3 is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1, so we'd only remove 1 influence here, which would not remove... So the question is, would it remove all isolated U.S. influence from a battleground or flashpoint? Oh, he could do it here, though. No, because the stability is 3 there. Jeez. So I don't think he's going to do that either. Is his military operations less than the DEFCON? The DEFCON is 3. He is a 2. So the answer to that is yes. And he's going to do a coup in any country. All right, so that's what he's going to end up doing because he wants to get points So his military equals to the coup is. So he has got... He can't do it in the Middle East. All he can do is here or here or here. So one of these three. And I bet you he's going to try and do Kenya first because it's a battleground country. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to add 3 to his roll. 3 plus 3 is 6. 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. That's going to wipe me out of there. He's going to get 2 operation points because that's what he got. And because this is a battleground, this automatically lowers. And that means no more DEFCONs unless you want to get bad things happen to you. I really want this, so I need to get one more country under control. I have South Yemen. I have Sudan. If I get Egypt under my control, one of these is going to be for the space race. The other one is going to be held. So, one of these... Oh, it's our turn here. So if I'm going to get this, I need to use this right now. I am going to play... I'm going to play this as the event. Diego Garcia, add 2 U.S. influence to the strategic sea lanes. And I would remove one of his influence, but he didn't put any influence there. So, but this doesn't have an asterisk, so it doesn't get removed. And then we go on to turn 6. And this was played as operations, so that doesn't get removed. And so now it's his turn. He's got an event, U.S. presidential elections, which is number 28. Will he play this as an event? No, he will not play as an event. So we got to go through the same process we just went through. Does he own a flashpoint country? Yes. Do I have a choke point on any city that he can adjust? No. He can't do DEFCON anymore. He doesn't care about his military anymore. So he's going to play this as influence. So he's only going to put 1 influence out, which is fine with me. Oh, I forgot. His coup attempts received a +1. Gosh, shoot. So he's made 2 coup attempts. What were the ones that he did? This one. So because of the +1, then he's going to have a point in there. And also, I think he did Ethiopia. So I think this should actually be 6. So we're going to give him a point there. All right. So sorry about that. I forgot. That's why I put it out there so I wouldn't forget. And then I forgot. I apologize. All right, it's our turn. We're only going to have 2 more turns this round. I haven't seen the scoring card yet. It's in here somewhere. We didn't get control of another country for this yet. I'm going to play this for the space race. I'm going to play this for the space race. So I need to roll a 1, 2, or 3 to move up. Otherwise, I just stay where I'm at. A 1, 2, or 3 to move up. That is a 6. So the nothing. So, but I played that card. That's his card. We go on to turn 7. Oh boy, here comes the scoring card. So he has to play this because it's the last turn. He has to play Africa scoring. So we're going to score it here. So, okay, here we go. Here we go. He's going to have to score the card. All right. Wow, that was, I just mentioned it, scoring. Okay. Presence. A superpower has presence in a region if it controls at least one country in the region. So I own Sudan. He owns Ethiopia. So we both have presence. Control. A superpower is control of a region if it controls more countries than his opponent. And controls all battlegrounds. So there is 2 battlegrounds. He doesn't own both of them. So nobody dominates. Control. A superpower has control of a region if it controls more countries than his opponent. Nope, we each have 1. So presence is 1. We each have 1 presence. We each control 1 country. He doesn't have this just by the skin of our chinny chin chin. And then players can earn additional points by regional scoring for the strategic sea lane. The sea lane is so that's what this special spot is. That's why I wanted to try and take it over. So strategic sea lanes are scored along with scoring cards and can have a major impact on the resolution of scoring cards. Control of the strategic sea lanes is analogous to control of a country. You must have influence equal to the strategic lane stability, which is 4. And if you do have control, you double the points you receive from the scoring card. Unfortunately, we don't. So we're going to score a point. He scores a point. So everything's a wash. And this, if a player owns Ethiopia, Somalia, and controls more African countries, they automatically win. Fortunately, he doesn't have Somalia. So no, sorry about your luck. Okay, whew, that was close. But it's our turn. We have 1 card remaining to play. I could use this card for the 2 operation points. But this gives the AI a victory point at the end of the game. But I would like to hold this because it's going to be worth 3 victory points next turn, and I don't want to play this. Well, I could then play this next turn. Because he would already have the card. So I am going to play this card for 2 operation points. And I'll put those 2 operation points in Egypt, which is going to give me control of it. So this goes to the AI. He's got that card now. And that is the end of the turn. Let's see what there's... Doesn't tell me end of turn. Like a end of turn sequence of play here. Let's see here. Like an end of turn sequence of play would be great. So right now it's literally 1-0. Maybe let's see here. Okay, game sequence. Here we go. To do action rounds. Okay, check military operation phase. Each player determines if they're penalized. So we need to have at least 2. We both have 2, so nobody's penalized. During tournament, or both players reveal the bottom edge of their held card to ensure that they aren't holding a scoring card. So we would show that we're not holding a scoring card. I pass this face down so you can't use it. And then at the end of the turn, he flips it face up. We advance the turn marker. And we draw enough cards to bring their hands up to size 9. So, these are the leftover cards that we haven't played or haven't come into play. Now we add these here. So I'm going to separate those and shuffle them up. We will have mid-war and late war cards now. All right. How is everyone doing tonight? You guys hanging in there? We should be... I definitely going much slower than I should on this, to be honest. I should just go with it, and if I make a mistake, but I hate making mistakes. I know Phoenix Knight is like that too, where, you know, he's very paranoid about making a mistake or doing something wrong, and I don't like doing it either. I get over it mostly, but I just try to do things the right way, I guess. So, all right, here we go. We're going to shuffle these up, and we're going to get our new hand of cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh, 2 right off the bat. Well, we got 3 of his cards. Ugh. We have 1 here of his. We only have 1 mixed card. That's crazy. We got 4 of our cards, which is good. We got 5 of his cards now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. 4 of his cards, 1 mix, and 4 of our cards. Oh, the DEFCON status also goes back up 1 spot. I almost forgot that. Right. All right. This actually goes away at the end of the turn. Okay, we have to find a card. Ooh. Add 1 U.S. influence in Kenya and remove 1 USSR influence in a non-USSR controlled country. Yeah, we're going to do this one. Kenya joins Rapid Deployment Force. That's us. All right. Let's see what the AI got. Oh, we got rid of our... Oh, no, this goes back in the deck. Sorry. 4 for us. That's a 4. Ah, good one. A 2... A 2? Where's all of our good cards? So this is a mix. So will he use this? This is RS41. Will he use it? No, he will not. He will not play it. He will not play it as a headline. So we can ignore that. He won't play that one. Will he play 22? Yes, he will. So that'll be the card he chooses. The rest of these get shuffled back up. Then we show both of our cards. His activates first because it's more. All right, let's see if there's any rules on this. If the USSR controls South Yemen. Oh, he doesn't own South Yemen. Oh, so he wouldn't actually play that one. Hang on, we're going to have to flip another card. RS-34. Remove a total of 2 U.S. influence. Oh, this is 1 and 1, so we basically do this simultaneously now. So he has that card there. Okay. So 1 and 1, so we do the U.S. card. Add 1 U.S. influence in Kenya. So I get 1 U.S. influence in Kenya. Then I remove 1 USSR influence in a non-USSR controlled country. So I could not take it from this, but I can take it from this, or I can take it from this. That's an interesting decision. Kenya is a battleground, and that's how you score more victory points at the end of the game. So let's, although I don't like him being up there, so let's get rid of this. That's fine. All right, so that's ours. His, remove a total of 2 U.S. influence from the Middle East. Oh, that's bad. 2 U.S. influence. So, let's see if it tells us what kind of, what's he, yeah. All right, so removing influence. What he wants to do it where countries with isolated U.S. influence, checkpoint, battleground, and flashpoint countries. So there's, okay, so he can take 1 from here, and he can take 1 from here, and that's going to make it so that I lose Egypt, which stinks. I really, really stinks. You stinky. Countries with isolated U.S. influence. Now that's... Egypt is the only country on the board that's both Middle East, and so we didn't get the Middle East scoring card. If we did, we could try to score it. It would be awesome. Did I take my influence out of... Oh, no. I added 1, and then I removed 1 from there. That's right. Okay. So he has Ethiopia, but that's all he has right now. But I've got 4 of his cards. I am going to play this. Oh, so these go away. They were both played. So that was played. That does not have an asterisk, so that's not removed. Okay, I can play this card, and the AI will get to play this event. So the USSR adds 2 military operations, and the US subtracts 2. Well, I've got nothing there. And then if the US holds the Romanian card, he would get to claim it face up, but I don't own it, so he gets that, and I get 1 ops. So I get rid of a bad card. Unfortunately, it's only 1 op card, but 1 op card is enough to take Egypt back. All right, so that was our first actions. Now we go to action number 2. Oh my gosh. So, RS-35, playable if any countries in the Middle East with at least 2 plus net positive realignment modifier for U.S. No, he's got nothing there. Making realignment rolls is all about having lots of, little countries to help you, support you, and give you a +1. Okay, so he's not going to play the events, so this would sit there in his little chain. So again, do I have choke point? I do have choke point right there. He could try a coup. 2 plus 2 would be 4. He would only subtract 2 from that. No, he's not going to coup. Is there a choke point country we get a +1 on? No, because I get a +1. He would get a +1. Is the DEFCON 3 or higher? Yes. So if he tried a coup, where would he go? He could coup here. And if you rolled a 2, let's see. 2 plus 2 is 4. No, actually that's not good enough. Can't 2 here either. So that's not going to happen. Is his military operations greater than the DEFCON? Actually, it is. So he's going to add a coup if possible. He's going to coup in any country possible. Doesn't matter what the value is now. So we have to look at places he would like to coup. Choke points, battleground, and flashpoint countries. So here's the battleground country. Here's the battleground country. Here's the flashpoint country. I think he would try to take over this by coupping this. I believe. Right? Yes. So it's a 2. Plus 4 is 6. 2 doubled is 4. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So he can remove 1 and add 1, which means he's going to take that over. Now he has control of it. And because there's a battleground, this goes down. And now he has control of 2 countries. I have control of 2 countries. So that was discarded because it was not played for the event. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. He doesn't discard it. That's what I'm doing wrong with the AI. So the AI never discards his cards unless he plays them for the event. So he will always have this ability. That's what I'm doing wrong. I apologize. If you're playing the solo mode, the AI, even if he uses this for the operation points, he doesn't discard the cards that are mixed or for his side. He keeps those out there so he can use those events in case later on he can use them. That's what I'm doing wrong. I was wondering why. Yeah, my bad. That is a complete boo-boo on my part. So That's probably why he's not doing as good as he should be doing, because he should have a whole line of cards that he can use those events on. Alright, well, it's our turn. Nothing we can do. We're not going back. Alright, I'm going to play this for the event. Score 3 victory points for control of at least 3 of the following. I have Egypt, I have Sudan, and I have South Yemen. So I get 3 victory points. Cha-ding, 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 ding. And this goes in the discard pile, which is interesting. Alright, so I'm up 4-0. Or 10 is an automatic victory if you get up to 10 victory points. So if I could score, like, if I could score, if I had the scoring card for the Middle East, I might be able to win, but I don't have the scoring card, so that's not going to happen. I do have one card I can play in the... Oh, this is fine. I can play this card as my last card, because this just gives him +1 to all of his operations for the remainder of the round. Okay, so if it's the last card, he won't have anything, so this isn't a bad one. I can play one of these as the space race. And the other card I'll be able to hold. So I think we're okay. Okay, so it's his turn? Yes, so it's... Wait, is it his turn? Or is it our turn? What did he just do? What did I just... Oh, no, I played this. It's his turn. Alright, so, boom. RS-32 is... Okay, it's a playable card. The USSR randomly draws 2 cards from the US hand. Oh, no. Or 1 card if only 1 card remains. Discard 1 and return any remaining card. If the discarded event is USSR, he's going to gain 2 victory points. Oh boy. Alright, so he's going to draw cards from our hand. No! I had this all planned out! Oh no! Is this 32. Playable if at least 2 cards in the USS player hand. Randomly select 2 cards from the hand and discard Africa scoring if US play would score more points than the US. Otherwise, discard the card with the highest operation value. USSR associated if possible. So he's going to try and discard the highest operation value card. Hopefully USSR if possible. So his card is 2 cards. These 2 are both his. He's going to discard this one, which is his card, so he gets 2 victory points. And this gets discarded. And then this one goes back into my hand, which actually didn't hurt me that bad. That didn't hurt me that bad. So now it's our turn. So we have, hang on a second, we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'll have to play them all, actually. Oh, that's a bummer, because he just got rid of a card out of our hand. We won't have anyone. So one of these I can use for the space race. Alright, I am going to play this, which is Zebig. Zebig? I can make 1 coup attempt in a using this card's operation value, which is a 3. This coup attempt is not restricted by It has no effect on the DEF contract. So I basically get a free coup. I can ignore the fact that I would end the game. So I'm going to coup Kenya. And hopefully take over Kenya here. Come on, let's get rid of Kenya. We want a big fat number. 4 or 5 would be nice. 6 would be lovely. 3, okay. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 2 doubled is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. I can remove his 2 influence. Unfortunately, I don't get to add any influence. But because I had 2, I get to move this up to 2, and now we're not going to be penalized because of that at least, which is what I was trying to prevent all along. Okay. Getting Kenya would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world. Round 4. He is going to, okay, so he discard our 4. He's going to discard our 4, and we don't get to play the event. He actually doesn't own 3 countries in Africa. Let's see about this again. USSR does not control a flashpoint country or at least 3. So he does own a flashpoint country, so we can ignore that. I have influence in the choke point there. He can't, again, coup, because there would... Well, he could coup there, actually, but it was not enough value. He would try some realignment rules, but those aren't going to do anything for him. If the DEFCON is 3 or higher, no. Is his operation value less than this? No. So we're going to go right over to the very end. Is this card, any event available? No. So he's going to use influence. So he's going to place down 4 influence. That stinks. Influence. Placing influence. No. USSR influence in Africa. No, he's got influence in Africa. Spaces without USSR control. Battleground countries. He wants to do battleground countries. Africa scoring is in the discard, so he can ignore the flashpoint countries because that's not going to score again until the end of the game. Spaces without control. In or adjacent to Africa. Battleground. So it's going to be, yeah, he's going to try and put 4 influence here. I believe that's what he would do. Right. So it goes to our turn 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're going to play all these. Gosh darn it. I can play this one as the last card again because the USSR may immediately play any U.S. associated card in their hand as if the event was associated with the USSR. So if this is the last card, he would have already played his last card, so he wouldn't have anything in his hand, so that's not going to hurt us. So I'm going to use this for the space race. I'm going to use this for the space race. I need a 1, 2, or 3. And no. So that would have given us some victory points if we would have been able to do that. That would have been nice. We go on to turn 5. So now, the lion falters. RS-21. Is Ethiopia controlled by either power? Yes. If Ethiopia is USSR controlled, plus 2 victory points. So we're back down to 0. So because he owns Ethiopia, he can gain 2 victory points. Otherwise, add 1 USSR influence or remove all US influence from Ethiopia. This event allows the Magnus Hele Madame card to be played as an event. RS27. I'm going to put this over here as a reminder that we can play that card now. So he gets basically 2 victory points because he owns Ethiopia, and that's it. Let's go to turn 5. South Yemen is not controlled by them. So either one of these is not great. I'm going to play this. We're going to take over Saudi Arabia for the 3 operation points. We go to turn 6. We only got 2 turns left. I'm going to start cruising now. Mid-war. RS50. RS50. Play only if DEFCON is at 3 or higher and Yemen not USR controlled. So you cannot play this. So you put this here in his line, but he's going to activate 2 operation points, but he still would keep this event for later. This is how it should have been done the whole game. My apologies for doing it wrong. He would play any event that he would be able to play. Still no... Ooh. Ooh. Now he owns this. If he gets Somalia, he could win. Nope, he can't play either one of these, so he's going to activate this card for 2 operation points. He doesn't have to worry about controlling Africa. There's choke points again, but nothing he can do about them. So he's going to add influence. He owns the battleground now. It's 2 points. Like, if he was smart, he would go here because that would give him an automatic victory at the end of the game. So, why wouldn't he go there? Because he owns both Flashpoint countries. And at the end of the game, you score both countries whether or not the pieces come out again, I believe. So we have to do something about this. So we're going to do something about it. We're going to play this as 2, and we're going to... Oh, actually, we'd have to play... The first one costs 2 points because he has control of it. So I'd only be able to remove 1, which is enough for him not to control it, though. And we go to the last turn. He gets a 4-pointer? Are you kidding me? He can't play this event because he can't lower this down. The game would be over. Wow, that is huge. But 4... which would put him at 5. Why wouldn't he do that? And then for our last turn, we can play this, and it's his event, but he would be able to... USSR may immediately play any U.S. associated card in their hand. He doesn't have any cards in his hand. So, but I would get 3... So if I put all 3 in here, again, 2 to take the first one off, which adds 2 to add 1 in there. And then add another one is 2. So he still has control of it, which didn't really do a lot, did it? So how is that going to play out? I don't know, because we're at the end of the game. Let's find out. Let's find out how that... I think... we'll see. We'll see. All right. 10.4.2. We go to final scoring 10.4.2. Sorry. Let's go to 10.4.2. Final scoring. All right. Oh, he's got to own more country. Oh, he does own more countries. Wow. Okay. Yeah, at the end of game turn, both regions are scored. Add these value points to their current score. Egypt is scored in both Middle East and Africa. Score both regions before determining who has the most points and victories. Reaching 10 victory points does not result in an automatic victory during the scoring. So, that is going to make things interesting. So here's the Middle East scoring, which I dominate Middle East. But he's gonna get the... Does he get the automatic victory for Africa is the question. I think he does. I think he's... Well, let's count it out and see what happens. So, Middle East scoring. Presence. I have presence. He doesn't have any presence. Domination. Domination again is... What is domination? Let's... Domination. All right. Domination. Where are you? Domination. Superpower achieves domination if a region it controls more battleground countries and non-battleground countries and battleground countries in a region than its opponent. Must have at least one of each. So I have presence. I have one battleground and one non-battleground, which is more than he's got. So I am dominating. And now control region. If he has more regions than his opponent, I'll control and controls all of the battleground countries. There are 2 battlegrounds. I control them, so I'm going to get... I would get 15 points. So I'd be up to 15. Plus 1 per controlled battleground country in region, which is 2. So I'd be up to 17 points. So I would get presence, domination, and control, plus 2 because of the 2 battlegrounds. So that's 17 points. Then we would score here. We both have presence. He doesn't have both of the... See, Egypt is a key one because it's for both countries. You need to have that to get both battlegrounds. So he doesn't own both battlegrounds. But he does have 3 versus my 2. So he does have control. So we both have presence, but he has control. Control more countries. Oh, and you control all the battleground countries. What? Oh, the domination is if you control achieves domination in a region if it controls more non-battleground countries and battleground countries in a region than your opponent. We each have one non-battleground. No, I'm sorry. He has two non-battleground, but he doesn't own more battleground countries. A superpower achieves dominating of a region if it controls more non-battleground countries and battleground countries in a region than the opponent. So he doesn't own more non-battleground. So he doesn't have domination. He doesn't have control. We both have presence. So that would both be 1 and 1. So I would win by a landslide if he didn't automatically win. So in Africa, if you have Ethiopia and Somalia and controls more African countries, which he does, 3-2, so he's going to automatically win the game, I believe. Unless you don't automatically win in final scoring. I would win. Well, he would know. He would get 1 point for having this card, so I would win 16-0 points. So I outscored him for sure. But if you can still get automatic victory in final scoring, then I think he wins. Let's see if we can find out if you can do that. Lovely, not really. $10.42 is the final scoring. Victory 215. 215. Let's look up 215. Ethiopia and Somalia are flashpoint countries. The country space with a lightning bolt symbol. They follow the same rules as normal countries but have special rules. And DIFCON impacts and scoring. 1041. Yeah. Automatic victory is achieved when players reach 10 victory points. Except for when you're doing final scoring. If the Africa scoring card is played and the player controls more countries in Africa and controls both flashpoint countries, that's where this is the thing where the Africa scoring card is played. It wasn't technically played. We score Africa again at the end of the game, so it never got played again, so I don't think he wins. I think we win. At the end of turn 2, both regions are scored. Add these victory points to the current score. Egypt is scored in both the Middle East and Africa. Score both regions before determining who has the most points and is victorious. Reaching 10 victory points does not result in an automatic victory during scoring at the end of turn 2. If the victory point marker is on 0, the game ends as a draw. So I believe we win because you have to play the Africa scoring card for it to score. We are just scoring both regions at the end of the game. We're not playing this card. We're just scoring each region based on the scoring cards. I believe, I don't know. I would like to find that out, but I'm going to say that we win because we score both regions, but this card wasn't played for the automatic victory. What do you guys think? Am I right or am I wrong? I would more than like, and I will also say that I messed up the AI because, again, when the AI plays the card for the operation points, he would keep all these cards out in front of him, and then anytime later on in the game, if any of these events were able to be played, he would play them then. So mid-war, late war, late war, late war. Well, what do you guys think? Is anyone there? Is anyone out there? I think I outplayed him, but I did screw him a little bit because of his events. Mid-war, mid-war, mid-war. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 is the right number, so I got them all. Just wanted to make sure. There's 22 in the late war, and was there 29? 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, 29. All right, what do you guys think? We good? Can we move on? I win. I won. You think I won? Or you think I'm cheating and I shouldn't have won? What do you guys think? All right. Well, we will let yeah. Oh, yeah, he would have moved up on that track, too. So he would have actually got 2 points because he would have moved up. I forgot to move him up. So instead of 14, we would have won 12. I would have had 12 points. We had 17 minus 1, 16 minus 2, 14. We would have won by 14 points. Because we dominated, I think. And the fact that he couldn't, you know, the AI, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to run an AI system, to be honest, because, you know, they want you to do certain things with the AI, but, you know, depends on your views. Like, okay, does that mean that he needs to have both of these or not both of these? Alrighty, well there you go. I think we won. I think we did. I think we played pretty good. I think you win. Great game, Doug. All right, yeah. I'm thinking. I mean, I'm not trying to cheat. I think because he didn't play that card at the end, we should have won. And yeah, definitely play this one again. I think it's a good one. I looked online, and there's a Steam app for this, and I would like to get that. It's not on sale right now because I'd like to get it, and you know, play it a couple times to make sure I'm playing. You know, not missing any of the rules or anything on this one. I think we're doing okay with it. Twilight Struggle, Red Sea conflict in the Horn of Africa. Let me know what you guys think of this one. If you want to see more of it. Seriously, you could play this in like a half an hour if you weren't, you know, yapping the whole time. It's a very simple 2 turns, 7. You're playing 7 rounds, 2 turns. So you're playing 14 cards and you're done. So it's not a super long one, but it's still a good one. I like it. I think they need to come up with more of these. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you soon, my friends. Take care of yourselves, and don't you forget, I will see you all down the line. Bye for now.